Hello, Craig Astor again, and I'd like to talk to us about the economy. And no doubt, even though they might say unemployment is 8.2%, the real numbers of unemployed Americans, those that want jobs, those that are underemployed, is much higher. And this probably goes back over the past 20 years when American corporations trying to compete on a global economy, a global market, that they found that they needed to look at other ways of reducing their costs. And unfortunately, we through NAFTA and GATT that the Republican Congress gave us in the 1990s and that Bill Clinton, a Democrat president, signed into law, unfortunately that opened up the floodgates to allow our American jobs that provided a middle-class income for many families in our country. That opened up the floodgates for those jobs to be shipped offshore. And because of cheaper labor in China and Southeast Asia, as well as in Mexico and other countries, that we have lost thousands or millions of jobs over the past 14, 15 years since NAFTA and GATT. And I realize that we cannot continue on as a nation, as a superpower, if we do not have jobs for our people. And so we need to look at viable solutions that, instead of enriching the few corporate CEOs through subsidies, through government subsidies, as well as bailouts, that we need to allow our companies, small businesses, and large corporations to be able to compete globally, as well as creating jobs here in America so that our people can get back to work. Now, I'm in favor of the production of hemp, industrial hemp, for Kentucky farmers who once had a very strong tobacco base here in Kentucky, but over the past 10, 15 years that base has been eroded away. And I think that industrial hemp would allow our farmers to be able to raise a crop, a commodity, and produce it and sell it to the world so that things can be manufactured out of industrial hemp. And I realize that there's a lot of discussion that, you just want to legalize marijuana. And I'm going to talk about the war on drugs in another video. But industrial hemp is not marijuana that you would smoke and get high off of. You can light a field of many acres and not get a buzz off of it. And it's good for the environment because of the nature of the crop itself. That prevents erosion. It would use less chemicals for fertilizer, which is oil-based, the fertilizers are usually oil-based. So that would be a win-win situation there. But we have a great opportunity here in America to be the breadbasket of the world. And we need to be producing things from our soil, whether it is edible crops or other types of crops that can be used for manufacturing, so that our farmers can once again employ ranch hands, farm hands, and get Americans back to work, as well as producing industrial products. And it's sad, but when we're competing, when Detroit is competing against people in Asia that's working for $5 a day, where just a few years ago, maybe that auto worker was getting $200 a day to work the assembly line, we need to look at things that can make us more competitive so we can get our people back to work. And as a libertarian, I believe in small government, small federal government at least. But I also realize that we just cannot pull the plug on all of the federal government projects that would just basically decimate our economy and put us into a depression, and probably a global depression. I do believe we need to throttle back and ease back little by little. And I am open to projects, whether it's light rail. And I heard Reverend Jesse Jackson on one of the talk shows on one of the news networks, a conservative news network, a couple weeks ago. And he brought up about getting people back to work and using maybe a light rail and constructing that so people can travel, and cheaper transportation, as well as being better on in the environment. And the host was basically, well, there's no return on that. Well, I like to say there's no return on a lot of these bailouts, the banking bailouts that were given. Billions, hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars. And besides that, I would like to say to that host, there is no return on the war on terrorism. People say, well, we're safe. Well, I believe that we can still be safe and have our troops home. But when we are spending trillions of dollars on a war on terrorism, let's bring our soldiers home. Let's bring our Marines home. Let's bring our airmen home, and our sailors home. And let's create jobs and use that money to create jobs that they can work and support a family on. And it's not that I believe in just big government projects just to spend money. But we got to be very careful, and Congress has to be very careful, that if they they cut out their money out of the system too fast and too soon, then we will flatline. And if we don't do it at all, then we're going to implode anyway. So we do need to move cautiously, and I believe that there's people already unemployed. There's people already that's on welfare programs. Let's provide them a job, and we do need to probably look at Davis-Bacon, the Davis-Bacon Act, to where instead of paying $30-some or a going rate scale, that what's better? Allow people to work maybe a little bit cheaper, so that at least they can have a job. And I think a person that's unemployed, that if you says, well, we got to get you a $30 an hour job to work this light rail construction, or maybe saying we can would you work for $20 or $18 with benefits, then I think those people that are employed would be glad to have a job. And I know there's jobs out there. I have a good job. But what we need to realize is that the system right now is designed to where people are better to stay on the system than to get out and maybe work at a job and be underemployed, to where they would lose their food stamps, to where they would lose some of the benefits that they're receiving from programs that are out there that are available to poor people. And so I'm open. As a libertarian, I do believe in a free market capitalist system. I do believe in states, the 10th Amendment, as far as states providing a lot of the programs and providing whatever they want to their citizens. But to be honest with you, they don't exist in America today. The free market capitalist system doesn't exist, as well as probably state rights. Now, sure, they'll allow you to maybe do a little things, but the 10th Amendment's out the window also. And for us to want to bring about change in America, we need to do it slowly, but we need to get involved, and we need to come to a consensus between the two parties. And instead of just fighting each other, instead of just trying to blame each other or saying, well, we're going to make this president a one-term president, that's our goal, so we're not going to do nothing for the next 4 years or 3.5 years to make sure that he doesn't get elected. And I know there's a lot of emotions involved in politics right now, and there's people that just can't stand the other side. But this is America. Divided we will fall. And hopefully if I'm elected that I will be a unifier. I will work with both sides, and I will stand up for the people of the 2nd District, and I'll stand up for our constitutional rights and our civil liberties that have been eroded over the past 10 years by both sides. But I have to get involved. I have to be elected, and that's why I need your vote. And if you believe in my candidacy, you believe in the person that I am, then I ask that you forward these emails or forward my website and let other people know. It says, hey, check this guy out. And hopefully, if there's enough people that want me to be their representative and will get out the vote on November 6th, then I'll be elected. And if not, then you will be stuck with probably the same big government program-minded politician that will enrich the corporate cronies and the CEOs and the board members so that the profits of these corporations stay high, while the American worker and the people get the short end of the stick. So it's your choice. Either way, I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep doing the things that I'm doing. But if you would want me to be your representative, here am I. My name's Craig Astor. I live in Hodgenville, Kentucky, and I'm running for U.S. Congress in the 2nd District. Thank you very much.